What can I say except you're welcome?
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Now the whole world can acknowledge me.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Miami the Great. We're here at episode 10 talking about the passing of Hulk Hogan. Some more things. Mainstream, y'all be having rounds, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I don't know how much of that y'all heard. Hey, we got money in the house. from ADT, Greg. Shouts out to y'all. We're gonna get to some topics, guys. About I think before we get into it, like I say, I guess I'll go over some Karen Cross contract coming up. I know that was a main thing I did see on the page. From what I seen over some time, I did see some Karen Cross stuff about him coming out. A little Karen Cross before. Um, I know some over the a period of time, Karen Cross has been going through some things about his contract and stuff, and his contract signing and stuff. His contract signed, probably so they probably wait down to near the gritty to the end of, contract. Yeah, you both, Lena. We're both multitasking. Shouts out to Lena Dow. Thank you guys for coming in. We're gonna get some more stuff coming in here soon. Like I say, let's get a few people in. What's going on in the wrestling world? SummerSlam is right around the corner. 2 nights. Hearing that tickets are very, very high. Still not sold out, and I'm no surprise in there with it not being sold out. That's very interesting to see what's going to go on with that stuff that's we got going on with the contract signings of, of WWE. I think that we'll see many more when it comes to start worrying that the wrestler has not signed yet, especially when it comes to not late out the things that he's been fussed about, and all the time, just been really like coming out saying that some of the best it's it's quite crazy that they haven't signed him yet. I know fans are really wants him to get finally that push for once at a time. So that's one main thing I want to see. What are they going to do with him soon? Because I think Karen Cross will be a very interesting um, release if they do it. Because I think a lot of people will be outspoken about that. Will it be on the Will it be on the R-Truth type of level? Maybe it could be. Um, we'll have to see. Um, when it does come, when it does come, when they have him, it comes up. I think with that, you got to see what's going to be. Phenomenal talent when it comes to Karen Cross. So, will he be re-signed? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see what's next. I think because I know him and Sammy, they're still. I did see a video of Montez Ford saying some things too about how he felt about some comments that um, um, Cross had said too. So it's interesting. But I don't know. Will we be able to see him? Um, actually get that finally push of what what we'll see from him in time. So Karen Cross is not re-signed yet because it's crazy if they haven't um if they haven't with this whole re-signing of Karen Cross. Um, it's nice for Cross, especially now we're seeing that if he doesn't come on to the to the thing with no one, he doesn't resign with no. Interesting to see what they will do with him in time. So um in time, um I'm going to get into a few more things. If my co-host doesn't get here, we'll just get into some of the Hogan stuff because I know pretty much of y'all wanted to probably talk about the Hogan stuff. What's going on, Lou? Shouts out to you, Lou. Let's see. Greg said, "Got my bloodline jumper suit ready and welcoming the Arthur Lena by you is NXT. So okay, so NXT. Um, so yeah, NXT has been getting really interesting too. Let's get into some WWE speed. I don't know if you guys seen the news. It's been seeming like they have been they canceled the show. Gone. It's no longer around no more. It seems like they got rid of the show of Speed. Speed is no longer just. It's been 3 weeks from what I heard that they haven't showed the show no more, or it's the show has not been on for quite some time. We'll see what they do with the show. It's very interesting that they canceled this show. I know So Ruko is the women's champion. Okay, guys. Hopefully that works. I don't know what's going on with them canceling the speed show. Um, it wasn't one of those shows that I think a lot of people was looking at first when it first came out on X. I think they felt like um see a, a couple things with the stuff they had going on. Next with the whole um, um okay. They have canceled. Yes, it's been canceled. The WWE speed going on for 3 weeks. They haven't showed it on X. There has been no tournament because I don't really watch it like that. When it first came out, it was like, okay, I seen it, and then that was it. But I knew that um like I said, when it first came out, it was doing great. I think some of them home show maybe where you do a couple matches, maybe you have 3 or 4 matches, where speed kind of matches where you get to see your stars. Maybe they should have made them to home shows. But yes, they did cancel the show speed because far as I know, I haven't seen it in quite some time. It hasn't been around. Like I said, I was shocked to see it too, guys, when I seen it on um Wrestle Talk. They had um talked about it. Shots out the Wrestle show has been canceled, and they haven't been doing it no more. So um, we'll have to see if maybe they took a break, maybe, and they're maybe restructuring some things. We'll have to see, but I don't know what what's going to happen with that. Try to see, but let's get into some topics right quick. We might get a final boss sighting at SummerSlam. Now, I want you guys to give me your thoughts. What do you think the Rock, the final boss, will do?
Are you
We'll have to
asking?
wait
Are you
and
asking?
see who will
Are you
be
asking me that
on
question?
both nights. They have the Bron. That's what Roman named them. But yeah, they said that there will be The Rock will be probably showing up at SummerSlam. We'll have to wait and see what will happen when The Rock. I don't know if my co-host, are you there, front of balls? I know how much. They're saying that it reports, and
Well,
most
I'm here.
likely, new Cody
It's in and
Rhodes,
out.
probably maybe turning Cody Hill. We'll have to see. Will that be the case for The Rock?
Oh, you're
Um,
frozen on my end.
I I don't think there's no way we can set up something with him and Roman. I thought they maybe something, I don't know. Especially if Cody's now, if The Rock is the one turning Cody Hill, will he be the will Roman have a problem with that are doing that? Um, we'll have to wait and see and time. Boss, if you can hear me, I
I
know
can
you
hear you.
buffering
I can hear
a
you.
lot over there. I don't know
And you're buffering a lot on my end.
if you can hear me or not.
Um, what, you can't hear me?
You there, front
Hello?
boss yet?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you.
Perfect. I'm kind of sad I came a bit late. I definitely
You
wanted
was
to touch
buffering
on.
a little bit
I well, I am outside,
over there, but we can hear you.
so okay. I definitely wanted to talk about Hogan. So I'm kind of sad that I'm out shopping. But as far as for like the like final boss, yeah, it's a street fight. So I expect him to be involved, and I think the involvement is gonna be he's gonna turn on Cena. I think that's where we are in the story. I think it's a good way to have Cena turn back into that baby face again.
Yeah, you pause on that end, final boss. Okay, she's moving now. There you go. You back?
Yeah, so I'm in the store, so I may have some good Wi-Fi right now. But
Can you
yeah,
hear us?
like I was saying, I can hear you. Um, I think it's a perfect way to turn Cena back babyface is to have The Rock interfere and turn on him. I think that's the direction that they should go. I feel like that's the direction that they're going into.
Okay, what you Wednesday. We call that. We there. Yep, and we lost Fun Balls. Well, stream y'all don't like Fun Balls because we were talking about the Fun Balls. So I think but hopefully we get her back as it was not agreeing with Fun Balls. Every now and then we heard some stuff. So let's read some comments. It says, okay, hear me out. I think The Rock shows up to make Cody the same offer he did before, and this time takes him. Yeah, he did before, and this time he takes the that. Let's go to another comment. Greg also said if Seth doesn't get involved, he'll champion on Raw. So Greg thinks that The Rock will have two champions, one I guess on SmackDown and one on Raw. Shouts out to you, Nessa. We hope you're doing well. We hope you're doing better. Nessa is in the building. Shouts out to you. Z Wrestling is laughing at Final Boss said Final Boss was on pause mode over there. Lou says shouts out to Nessa. Lena Dow says no hate, but ain't gonna watch another boring reign. Cena retains with the title, and someone will win it from him. McIntyre could be a person that could be a potential opponent for not even just for The Rock to be in The Rock's group, but just to be in The Rock's group, the whole group. Let's see. I think we got Final Boss back. Okay, Final Boss, you got your camera off. We see you. We don't see you.
I'm here, but I think it's so choppy. So hopefully when I get back to the car in a second, maybe it'll be better. I don't know, but it's not cooperating. And I'm on store Wi-Fi, so.
Okay. Okay. We'll okay, I'll try to get back to you.
But I hope that
I think
but I do hope that you heard what I said.
Lena said she said she hopes something. All we heard was hope something. Also, just some comments. I think everybody's just saying hey to each other in the comments. I think we lost one of us again. Yeah, I know she wanted to get into a little bit of what happened with Goldberg. You know, she did not like Goldberg winning. I meant losing on Saturday's night main event, and some of the comments that Goldberg had with this happened with The Rock. I meant The Rock. If he does come, maybe he, like Lena Dow said, maybe he helps Cena retain. It might be a swerve. You know how much base does that. I mean, we got Naomi cashed in on the Raw champion. I never would have guessed that in a million years. I thought she was going to cash in on the SmackDown champion. I can't think of a percentage. You do some kind of way. You make the Survivor Series. You make Rock some kind of way. Maybe Roman goes after Cody, and Roman wins the title. Maybe Rock says, "Forget it. I have to do it myself." I think I lost back. Let's see, can we get you? Nope. And she's still in bad era. I feel like we'll have to wait and see what goes on. Music. What music? Oh, jeez. Oh, there is music. Anyway. My bad. I ain't know. That started playing on his own, y'all. I do not know why that was music. But no, but I feel like there has to be something around to where will his story is, especially with Cena. Cena doesn't have that many days left. You have him retain. I think he's almost down, like maybe he has to be down to like 13, 12 days now. I know it's pretty much getting down there. I find it interesting, and I don't know if y'all noticed that he stopped doing the countdown gimmick. Now, I don't know if that's a thing where if he comes face, he says, well, hey, I'm going to do some more extra days just to get over as a baby face. That could be a thing, but I have noticed that they have kind of slowed down on doing the count. We'll have to see what they do when they how they do it. If they do a turn, most people are suspecting a double turn. Maybe we'll see where we go from there. But we'll have to see what they will do. Thunderbolts, we got you back. Do you hear
Yeah, I can
us
hear.
now?
Hopefully you can hear me.
I did not know that we have music in the background. That played on
Yep,
its
you
own
had
sleep.
music. I thought it was just
So I
me, my phone
decided to
tripping,
play
but you
music
had
on its
like
own.
you had moose and music on.
But are you there, Thunderbolts,
I'm here.
baby?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we heard most of you. Yeah, we heard most of your statement.
Okay.
Um,
Perfect.
when it came to I think she's a little behind. So y'all give her a minute.
No, I heard you say we heard most of your statement and I'm behind. I heard all that.
Thunderbolts. I'm not frozen, y'all. I'm just waiting to see if she hear me because it was lagging. She heard me, but it was like a
Yes, I
delay
can
on her
hear
end.
you. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, yes, I'm here. I'm here to let you know I'm here.
Okay, while we get her to once she gets into a better area, I will. Because she's a little choppy on our end. Let's go to the comments till we get Final Boss back. Nope, everybody's saying hello to Final Boss lady. Let's get into it since we got Final Boss here. Hopefully she can hear us. Let's talk about Hogan. Hogan. The passing of the immortal Hulk Hogan. I really wanted Final Boss to go first, but I guess her side is not working. Final Boss, if you can hear us, do you have any thoughts about the passing of Hulk?
Yeah, I
Yep,
do. So you
there
gotta
she
let me know if
goes.
you can
We
hear.
see her.
I can hear
She's
you
back
guys.
on camera.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. You're in a better area than you was at first. You ain't pausing.
Yeah. As far as the passing, like, I mean, I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked. There's been reports coming out for the
I
last
think
few
she paused
months.
again. Yeah. Yep,
No, I
she's
can
paused. She's just looking down at the camera.
I can I can hear everything.
I go first. It was it. When I first seen it, it was a shock to me that Hulk Hogan did pass away. We know his whole history of Hogan. Hogan, the character, is not the person that um, he had made some comments years ago about black people, and when he came back to WWE, the apology was apologize. He felt like he didn't do nothing wrong, and it was bad. It was something that as me as a black man, I one because that's not something I want to do. He had a great legacy. Hogan is WWE. There would not be no WWE if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan when he first started. That's all. Each of vitamins. The whole. He was the initiative of. He's the most loud from Bruno Sammartino. A lot of people don't remember that, but his style came from that. The little bulky style, little husky guy, working out and stuff.
Can you hear me?
That's where he initially got his idea from. Matter of fact, mostly
Can y'all hear me?
about that, and now um, you get that, but yeah, personal,
Can you hear me?
yeah, like Z Wrestler said, personal stuff aside, rest in peace. I don't have no. It was the whole racist thing when it came out. That's the thing I see. I seen a lot of people have mixed reactions on it.
Oh, what?
Eggs. You had people happy. Some people sad about it. So there are many Hogan well interview, and there was that saying that
Can y'all hear me
a
or
lot of
no?
people didn't say that what he was going on and what was going on with him and his whole backstory
Can you hear me or
of
no?
what was going on. So my thing is, like I say, Hogan the character, uh, you know, hey, it was in the comments he made, apologizing about some of the stuff that he did say when it came to that breaking up real bad. You're breaking up. Go again. Can't hear you. You we hear you. Final balls. Do you hear us? We hear you. Okay, that's you know. Oh jeez. Oh nope. Well, let's see. Shit, probably. Yeah, I feel like I say, personal stuff aside. I mean, Hogan was Hogan.
Can you hear me?
His legacy was everything, and we'll see. I think we got you back, Final Boss. We did hear you.
Well,
You hear
can you
us.
hear
I don't think
me?
you hear
No,
us.
yes. Can you hear me?
Finally got you back. You're on.
I can
Okay, there
hear
you
you.
go. We hear you now.
I think you can been hear me because I can hear you just fine. So I'm not sure. It's choppy though, but I heard everything you said. Yeah.
Gotta put the
So
comments out there
yeah, they
so we
can
know
hear
that
me.
we hear you.
It might be your end too because I heard everything you said, but you couldn't hear me. So it may be a StreamYard issue. But I'm gonna hurry up and say this before I drive, and y'all won't hear shit. But anyway, as far as for Hulk Hogan, yeah, the story of Hulk Hogan said some things. So let's just go ahead and let's just call it what it is. The story was that there was a recording that came out where he said that his daughter Brooke, according to him, was not allowed to date black people unless it was a rich nigger like The Rock. That's what came out. And that's what
Too.
kind of started everything because
She's
it
cooking
was
too.
reported.
I know she's cooking.
Um,
She's breaking up so bad. She's cooking.
no, it's
I
not.
can tell
No, it's
from the
not.
bits and parts of what
No,
she's
it's
saying.
not.
She's
No,
cooking.
it's not. No, it's not. It's just you breaking up because I hear everything that you're saying. But I'm gonna keep talking, guys. That thing's also Miami side. But yeah.
Is it
As
my
you know,
hand?
yes, you're in. But as you know,
Why is breaking up?
he got a
My
lot of
hand.
back. He got a lot of backlash
I can't.
about. Well, I can hear you. It's your end. Stop talking. But he got a lot of backlash about that,
Okay.
and when he made his return back to WWE, which was years later, part of that was he had to go backstage and have a meeting with all the wrestlers and pretty much make amends, and it didn't go well. Reports came out that he pretty much said, just be careful about who's watching you because you never know who can hear you if things are recorded. Well, it wasn't really a sorry. A lot of people didn't take it well backstage, especially the New Day. They expressed those frustrations. Honestly, that for me, I heard that story from the New Day actually saying that, at that time. So he had a lot of heat on him for that. The last time we seen Hogan was when he was supporting the presidential election. Before then, he was booed out with Jimmy Hart. Um, and we hadn't really seen him so much. He was supposed to be at certain night main events. He canceled, said that his son was getting married. There were a lot of speculation about how he looked recently. He didn't look healthy last interview. He had really red eyes. There were a lot of memes coming out. Triple H pointing to the sky. And now look at where we're at now. He had neck surgery. Apparently, like, that didn't go too well at all. There was a lot of reports about that for the last few weeks, couple months, about him not doing well after that neck surgery. I can only fathom why he wanted neck surgery because he was doing well for years. It looked fine to me. I believe that after the last appearance he had with Jimmy Hart when he got booed and over there in California, was that he maybe wanted to bring back the old American hero that we knew him for and maybe get back in the ring and doing that ring shape. Because the interview prior to that, with him saying either you're going to ride with me or I'm going to ride the wave of haters and it's going to be what it is. He said that people get booed like Cena get booed, and it's no big deal. When he gets booed, it's a big deal. So he also had that delusion, that everything was fine and they were booing Hogan, the character, and not Terry, the person that's behind Hogan. So that was a delusional state that, that he already lived in. It was a mix of him, having some hate against certain races, and he had his own personal thoughts when it came to a lot of different things, politic wise, race wise, things like that, but also was just the element of delusion. But it depends on how you want to remember him. Do you want to remember him being Terry, the guy that was delusional and openly racist because he said that that's how he grew up in the era that he grew up in? Or do you want to remember him as being the Hulkamaniac, Hollywood Hogan, the American hero, the guy that people dressed up as instead in the front row wearing the bright colors and everything. I mean, so it depends on how you want to remember him. I don't fault WWE for some because at least, hey, they had a great character. Nobody would have known that wasn't the person that was behind it. The problem with WWE is that even though they did the right thing and they kind of cut ties with him from a long time, the problem with WWE is that, they brought him back. They saw that he wasn't really forgiven, and they still work with him. They still had a multi-year deal with the Great American Beer. It still shows advertisements, even though he got booed. They talked about how they wanted him to maybe come back as a heel and kind of use that his last appearance as like a way to come back as a heel, and it was in poor taste, and I think they pulled back on it. But I am shocked. I'm shocked that he passed. 71 is old, but it's not the oldest. But I'm also not shocked because a lot of reports came out about his declining health condition. And for me, I can't remember a time when I've heard a rumor about someone's declining health or someone's, passing not be true. Anytime you hear, oh, this person's not doing well, or, oh, they may have passed, it's always some grain of salt to that. It's always some truth in that. And it happens every time. I can't name a time where any time I've heard about that, it has not been true. And so I hate that it happened. I am really in shock. I miss Hogan coming out there and saying the Hulkamaniacs and brother and all that stuff we used to make fun of him for. I just want to see him come out there and just be booed and just be hated, but I definitely don't want to see him unalive. That's how I feel about Hogan. I was a big fan of his daughter growing up when she came out with, singing and trying to make an album. The good times is where everything really started to spiral out of control. So it's unfortunate. I can only imagine what his family is going through. I know Jimmy Hart's probably not going to take it very well. Apparently, days ago, Jimmy Hart said that the rumors about Hogan's health was not true. That him and Hogan was at a karaoke night or something like that, and I don't know if that happened, if he fabricated that, or he just wanted to kind of hide the truth. But reports that came out that after the neck surgery, he was hospitalized, released from the hospital, bedridden, and he wasn't able to talk. Which, granted, it's neck surgery, so you might not be able to physically talk. It's laryngitis and all that stuff. But Jimmy Hart is saying they went out to karaoke, and then we know that's not the case. Like, we know he was bedridden. We didn't know the severity of it. We had mixed reviews. We heard, hey, he's not doing well, or hey, he's not doing well, but he's stable, he's in better condition. And then we hear this news. My question for you, Miami, and I'm gonna start driving, is do you think the WWE should or is going to give a tribute? Because for me, I see why they would,
Uh,
because think of the whole.
somebody was asking me that question. I think they will. They'll
Okay. I guess I'm not even talking, but I mean, my favorite tribute that they had in WWE was the one they had for Eddie Guerrero. Of course, that was a really, really great one. The one they had for Chris Benoit before the after reports came out about why, how he died, which was, a terrible thing. But, prior to that, on that Raw, they had a really great tribute. They had the whole 2 hours dedicated to him. And I haven't really seen them do a tribute to that magnitude in a very, very long time. They usually don't tribute in that way anymore. I mean, they don't really do the 10 bell salute and all that stuff like how they used to do. And I know Hogan, Terry, is a terrible person. But the character, the work that he did, when he was with the company, I think he deserves that. I think he does. I really wish that Hogan would have made his made his amends. I really his mistakes and stop having this whole oblivious thing. And he didn't. The last interview I saw with him, he didn't see it. He didn't even not Hogan, the Terry that's behind Hulk Hogan. Um, I guess most SmackDown what they do, but I he deserves a percent off. I think they make it clear and the influence was he was the great American hero, before things kind of spiraled out who was behind the feather. So I I me frozen, and I just ran off for so much time.
did we lose her? Oh, jeez. I guess we lost her. Well, I'm gonna make some comments about a few things she said. It was she was very, very correct. Will they do a tribute to Hogan? They probably do a little that kind of brings attention to wrestlers. Um, there, yeah, she was breaking up. I guess I think because she was moving, that's why. Probably because she was in the car. But I feel like yeah, they'll do a tribute. They'll probably do a video package for them. Like I say, I don't. It's not. I have no hate for them. It's just The thing is the comments that he did um was not something that I felt was good for me or anyone of my race. And he did say that the last time we seen Hogan was on TV for WWE was when he came out there with Jimmy Hart. So and that were Saturday night main event because I think that was that same week when we was gonna get Saturday night main event. I don't know what was gonna be his initial road. Nothing did come out about that. Um, that was reports on it. So we'll see what actually really came out when it gets to that. Um, like I said, I know I heard Sean Sapp say earlier today. A couple of earthquake matches. He had some New Japan matches that was very well that I heard most matches you hear about when it comes to Great Muta is him and Flair and him and Sting that you can go check out. Like I say, the character of Hogan is not the person that I will say, oh my God, you know, this guy, you know, who you are when be careful what you say when the camera's on. I was like, oh, that's and people didn't like him. I don't think it was because who he supported when it came out with him saying what he said. So yeah, they'll do a video package. They'll show his picture on Friday. Say
Can you hear
we
me?
lost history of him. A lot of it probably be matches. None of it probably with him and Vince McMahon. Vince did make a comment. Um, he did tweet it out on it. Show their support. You know, not like I said what he said. I'm sad that he went out like this. I think Final Boss said 70s is young. So
71 is young.
I think did you have any last name because you was
I
you
hope you can hear me.
was
Can
cooking
you hear me?
and it cut StreamYard drop you out. But do you have any last things left?
First of all, can you hear me though, or not?
You?
Said yeah. Said yeah.
Yes, we can hear you, Final Boss.
Okay.
Can you hear
But
us?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
But like I said, I
we can
hadn't
hear you.
seen him. Okay. But I hadn't seen any really good tributes, really, since Eddie Guerrero and of course Chris Benoit before the details came out about what really happened about his death. I mean, we don't really get the Timbo salute anymore. We don't get the 2 hour
Yeah,
tributes anymore. We don't get that anymore. I think that's something that WWE should go ahead and go back into doing. Um, and I think that starts really with Hogan. I mean, I know it's crazy to hear that because the person behind Hogan, Terry, is terrible individual. He just is. But Hogan the character, Hogan the wrestler, Hollywood Hogan, um, should be remembered for being that character, at least for gimmick wise, storyline wise, in regards to WWE, and just his in ring presence. It was known. Everybody know who Hulk Hogan is. People who haven't watched wrestling in decades know who Hulk Hogan is. People who don't watch wrestling at least know his catchphrase and brother and everything, and how he would just even in this day and age, he was very active on social media, and he would start off by saying HH, double H, Hulk Hogan. I think everybody knows who he is. I think everybody knows his colors and his get up with the very famous tie back scarf to hide his alopecia. Everyone knows who Hogan is. He was an icon. The character was an icon, and I think about what would have happened if Hulk Hogan wasn't that person, if he wasn't that ignorant person. He would be probably one of the best wrestlers in history, right up there in the lines, along with those like Taker and Stone Cold. He's Hulk Hogan is right there. Like let's be honest. But everything that he has done personal wise, has led to his downfall. And unfortunately, and I hope you heard it the last time, I'm gonna say it one more time in case it wasn't heard because of this poor signal and I'm on the road, was I really wish that Hogan had understood the things that he did and admitted that, and especially if he was booed in California, which was the last appearance that we seen him on in WWE ring. I wish he would have understood why he was booed. Instead, he was delusional, and he was saying that it was a character being booed and not him. I wish he would have made amends. I wish he would have bettered himself before his passing, because now that time is unfortunately beyond us now. He's no longer with us, and we're remembering him as that. And I think Hogan should have known that. He knew his age. He knew his health struggles. And I'm talking about back when we saw him in interviews before his health declined. Knowing his age and knowing how he felt, you know, body wise. Yes, he actually still looked great. He still had some muscle on him. I give him that. He looked like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan looked like he was 80 when he was like 25. I mean, that's how the Hulk looked. Um, but I really wish he would have made amends, and he didn't, because the stubbornness is what got him, and I hate that for him. I hate that for his family, especially with people that are in the limelight. Everybody knows who Brooke Hogan was. She was known to a lot of people as being Hogan's daughter. So the fact that his legacy is so tarnished like that, it's really sad. It's sad for Hogan, even though he's no longer with us, and it's sad for the family, and it's sad for WWE, for having for building such a great star that had ultimately tarnished everything that they had put into the character and everything that he had put into the character and the in-ring work and everything that goes along with it. And hopefully Miami knows I'm done talking because I see them frozen and staring at me the whole time.
You said that, front boss? Michael.
Yeah, I'm
No,
here.
I didn't
I'm done speaking.
see Michael. My
Okay.
bad, front boss. But yeah, no, I see your mic still on, so I ain't know. Oh no, I see your mic was still on mute, so I ain't want to interrupt you with everything you were saying. because you was cooking and giving us some good statements. Like you said, we did not want to see. I didn't want to see Hogan come out and be like this or go out like this or go this way out. That's not the whole idea of the way we want to see him go and this whole thing.
But do you think, and last before we move on to the next topic, and Miami went away on my end. But Miami, if you're there, you can hear me. Um, do you think that WWE is still going to carry on with its American Beer? Because remember that American Beer partnership was a multi-year deal. I believe it was 5 years. So, and that beer hadn't even lost not even a year ago. So, do you think they're still going to have that in production and still work with that partnership on this beer line or not? Okay, well, I'm not sure why it's just showing me, even though I had probably the worst signal. But it looks like the next topic we're talking about is WWE Speed. Now, Miami was the one who had let me know about this topic. He told me that it was announced that WWE Speed is no longer going to be continuing on episodes. He,
Uh,
um,
oh, that's StreamYard.
Oh yeah, I know it's StreamYard because when we were having, Google Meet meetings, it works fine. But now I'm on here, same thing. It's still a live stream and it's bad. So StreamYard, I don't know, talk it up, might be letting you go. But yeah, go ahead, Maya.
Good job. Good job. I mean, StreamYard kicked me out, but good job. I don't know what you were talking about, but hey, good job. I thought uh, on the retirements and how WWE has been doing their retired legends. Speaking of legends, I feel like one of the I think his last match was with Shawn Michaels. I think I was telling you that you thought it was Triple H, but no, it was Shawn Michaels. That Shawn Michaels. Let's do it with Shawn Michaels because I think he was one of the ones that did retire. Um, um, Hogan, if I'm not mistaken. So he did get injured in this match. That match, Saturday Night Main Event. I don't know if you heard that or did you see the
No,
report?
I'm sorry. Who got injured? Because it
Reports
broke
on
out. You said
that,
about Goldberg? About Goldberg got injured?
but um, I think me and you talked about the way Kurt Angle. That's what his retirement match. So Lee's
And
Goldberg
StreamYard is on. Me and
had
StreamYard again. God damn it. I had so much to talk about.
Gunther. Gunther was the champ. Gunther's he's a great, you know, I say to find the boss here, any of that. Yay, nay, maybe so.
Yeah, I heard all that. It's
Anybody
choppy
hear
as
me?
hell. But yeah, I heard that. Yeah, we can hear you. It's choppy, but we can hear you.
Well, I was just basically saying, um, about the whole, it wasn't put off. At least it wasn't like somebody like they didn't do him like um they did Kurt Angle.
Yeah, what they did with Kurt Angle was pretty bad. And
I feel like
I was a big Baron Corbin fan, and I still didn't like how he retired Kurt Angle. And that was a Baron Corbin was getting his push, possible, and all that stuff. So. Man, I think this is going to be probably the last Talk It Up on Stream, guys. We're going to be just on YouTube only because this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely tragedy. Absolutely disgusting. God damn it.
we hear you.
Yeah, but I know, but you're, oh, well, good. I'm glad you heard it. I'm glad you heard everything that I said. Because I'm pissed. You're frozen. But yeah, like I was saying, when it comes to, Baron
Unless I'm over
Corbin,
here having 12 rounds with it, I don't know what's going on, man.
yeah, but like I was saying in regards, in regards to Angle being retired by Baron Corbin, I was a big fan of Baron Corbin. When I went to see him during SmackDown, I had the signs and everything. I loved the Lone Wolf. I loved the Constable. I love the feud he had with Cena, with the briefcase. I love that. But the fact that they had people over there on the phone, not driving. But but I feel like for Angle, it should have been a better match, and it should have been against someone else, and it should have had a better build. I mean, it was literally just Baron Corbin said, "I want to retire Kurt Angle." It's the angle that they had, and Kurt Angle, he is the only Olympic gold medalist. I can't say now, but Olympic gold medalist at that time in WWE, and they still had him retired by someone like that. And I'm also not very happy about Gunther retiring Goldberg. Now, apparently that's what he wanted, but let's just cut. When it's already a crap show to the senior, let's cut the shit. Okay? The reason why I believe, and I'm saying me, I'm not saying I heard it, I'm not saying it was reported, but I believe the reason why Goldberg wanted to lose against Gunther was because he knew it would be an easy ass match. Because of Gunther's ring style, he's a technical wrestler. He knew it was less likely that he was going to get injured because not a lot of flips to do, so he's very grounded, which is fine. But Gunther, to me, even though he's champion, is not the caliber to retire a legend. He's just not. He's just not. And shouts out to my husband, The Rock, for saying openly, man, the person gonna retire me, gonna be Roman, nobody else. Because think about it, if he hadn't said that, they would have probably had like the one of the Tongas or somebody retired. My husband. Like let's just be honest. What was the last great retirement match that you actually seen? Cena is outsmarted everyone by saying, I'm gonna go a full year, so that way you cannot, and I must curse because StreamYard's already jacked, y'all cannot fuck up my goddamn retirement, because I'm gonna give you guys 12 months to get something right out of this fucking retirement. Because if they would have gave him just one retirement match, that's what he wanted to go ahead and do, it would have been a shit show. It would have been him and Cody would have then retired him, and it would have been the end of the story. And honestly, I'm not a Cody fan, but I damn sure would have had Cody retire me over.
You're saying about Rock, right?
No, I'm talking about John Cena. But for me, I would have, if I was a wrestler and they said, hey, you can either have Gunther or Cody retire you, man, I would have said Cody. Because that match that Goldberg did is not going to go down in the history book as it should. We're only going to remember it being, well, it was like it's one of his longest matches in like the last 15 to 20 years. And we're going to remember that it was a retirement match. That's all you're going to remember. You ain't going to remember nothing else from that
Really?
match. 10 years from now, it's going to be, 10 years from now, it's just going to be, remember that match because it was his last match and it was one of his longest matches in over a decade. Nothing else. You ain't going to say, wow, the chemistry was amazing, or wow, it was against a great opponent. Well, I'm not saying that, but look at where we're at now. Think about the retirement that. Oh, he's breaking up. I give up. You're frozen on my end. Hey, let's talk. But think about where we are now. We're years. Okay. But we're years behind now, and we still remember when HBK got retired by Taker. We're years from it now, and we still remember Flair and HBK. Because the opponent and where they fought at was great. We're not going to remember this 10 years from now. We're not going to remember, well, at like a TV special, it was Goldberg and what was that guy there? I think it was Champion, but he was kind of like a big card guy, but they gave him a championship. Oh yeah, it was Gunther. We're not going to remember that. You're just not. And granted, who else would have had to retire him? I don't know. Maybe a Punk, maybe a Cena. But to have, and I get it, Gunther's champion. And you know what? I do like the idea of his gimmick. I love the idea of him being a ring general, but his delivery of it, and hey, it is what it is. It's just not there. It's not good. And maybe it's not that he's a bad wrestler or even a bad talker. I don't think that this gimmick fits him. There are certain people who can't do certain gimmicks. And I think the good example of that was Goldust. Goldust, when he was first pitched the idea, which is Dustin Rhodes, when he was first pitched the idea, he didn't really understand the concept of the gimmick of Goldust, and then he wasn't good at it at first. And he said this in interviews because he didn't understand how the character was supposed to be portrayed. And when someone actually gave him in layman's terms what they was trying to do with the character, he said that it clicked and he finally got it. And I think for Gunther, as long as it's been, and it still hasn't clicked yet, I think it's time for us to look into getting him a brand new gimmick. I think that's kind of like where we are.
Yeah, that Final Boss.
I'm here. I'm done talking. I'm here.
It's strange, y'all. But yeah, I feel like somebody better. I think he was probably upset. It sounds like he wasn't upset about not winning to go. I think he just was upset about the whole cutting his speech off quickly, and a lot of it had to do with Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins did get hurt, but they said it's the time for Seth Rollins to
Well, no, he also was upset about
get
it
out
being on. He also
the ring
was
and
upset
stuff.
about
'Cause,
it
I
being
mean, that's no
on.
one's fault when it comes down to. I can think of.
We can't even hear you. But and you're frozen, at least on my side. But he wasn't just upset about his uh, speech being cut off. He's also upset about the platform. He was upset that it was on Saturday Night Main Event and not an actual PLE, and I get that. Um, but he also expressed some concern about that. He said he trained for 5 months. It was the longest he trained for anything, and then he just felt like he did 5 months of training for nothing. That it was lackluster, according to him. And he said that he plans to tell some more about how he feels in the next 2 weeks. And yeah, I get it. John said in
Can you hear
the
me?
chat. Yeah, I can hear you. John said in the chat that Goldberg wasn't active, but people at HBK were. So that may be true, but guess what? Cena wasn't active. Cena was active for the last 5 years until this run. He only was wrestling at WrestleMania for the last 5 years. That was his only match. And he didn't have any bills. He'll come out, do 2 weeks of bill, and then they have a WrestleMania match. And he's been doing that for the last 5 years. So to say that, oh, it's because Goldberg is not active, that's in poor taste. Because you're looking at someone who wasn't. And let's not forget, now, even though he's not in retirement mode, but let's not forget CM Punk. CM Punk had not wrestled in 10 years. And he went to the AEW and lasted 6 months. And then came over to WWE and went right into the limelight once again. I mean, and clearly, thank you. Have a nice too. And clearly, he is not nowhere near the same age as someone like Goldberg. So, I mean, I get that he's not active, but Goldberg did have a match, 3 years ago. He was doing things a couple years ago. Now, were they good matches? No, but they were matches. They were matches, and I think the way we're going now in wrestling, you're not going to have that guy be full time anymore and then go into retirement. You're going to have them either be barely there or be part timers or less than half a timers and then go into retirement. We're seeing that right now. Unfortunately, we're seeing that with our guy, with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has been part time for a while now, and granted, he deserves it because he put the work in. He's great, but you're not. Apparently, this is his last couple of years he has left, and we're not going to see a full time Roman. I doubt it now, and he's going to have a retirement match or retirement segment. So what's the difference? What's the difference? Like Goldberg was, WCW legend. He came over to WWE, did some things there. Matches weren't great, and then he went away for a while. But it's really kind of the same idea. If Brock Lesnar wasn't banned, because apparently Brock Lesnar is banned or something, I don't know. All the story about that. They won't say why he's banned. I assume it's something to do with maybe with the stuff with the lawsuit, and it could be other things. But the last run that Brock had before he left was he was only there like between 8 and 12 dates. And if he wasn't banned, I'm pretty sure it'd be the same thing, and he'll still get a retirement match. So what's the idea? If Cena didn't want to do a 1 year farewell tour, Cena's only been coming for one match for the last 5 years, and only WrestleMania for 5 years. So if he would have said, "Hey, I just want to do one last match," he would have not came and just did a one last retirement match in your main event at WrestleMania, and that would have been it. So it's the same caliber. Those days of having, your top guy winding down and having a retirement match is gone. I think the last person that's really going to do that really is going to be Seth Rollins because he's such a full timer. But anybody else now, I don't think you'll see it. I just don't. That's just kind of where we are now in wrestling. It's kind of sad to see, but that's kind of where we are. And Miami is gone again. But the next topic we were going to talk about was about how Speed was gone, I believe, and then we got over to retirement stuff. So we're kind of all over the place. Thanks for StreamYard. But Miami did tell me that they're doing away with Speed. That there has been a Speed episode about 3 weeks or so. I didn't know that. As you know, Speed comes on X, and I've actually never seen the episode. But I kind of wonder why and then what they're gonna do with that with the stars from there. They're gonna just put them on the main roster, like how they were before they go over to Speed. I think it's gonna give a lot of superstars a lot of less opportunities now, because we are now heading toward the stats card. They're calling up many from NXT left and right now. Of course, as you know, starting earlier on this month, we cut down SmackDown to 2 hour mark, which I like, thank God. And Raw has also been 2 hours since really since the Netflix time. So I think with that being said, a lot of your lower mid cards won't get that opportunity anymore with them losing Speed. I think unless they can try to put them on something like NXT, I get it. There's a lot of programming on, going on right now. The Uncut documentary that's going to drop soon, and the ID, LFG new season, of course, your Raw, SmackDown, NXT. It's a lot of content. I think the main Heat thing is just still going on, as far as I know. But and house shows are back now, reportedly. Um, so I think maybe it's just enough content and they're done with it, but it just feels like it's a chance that a lot of the lower mid card um, guys and girls won't have that limelight anymore.
Did that Final Boss?
Yeah, I'm still here. I had to talk a lot because you were gone for a while.
I'm sorry.
But what I was talking
And
about was I basically said that I was talking
I heard
about
you say. I'm pretty sure you
speed,
made some great points about
speed.
D. Who? I heard you say D, and then you cut out.
I said I was talking about speed being canceled is what I was talking about my feelings in regards to it. That's what I was talking about before you left.
I'm over here by myself. The Final Boss give up on me. What happened? It kept dropping on me, y'all. It's not me. Oh, okay, she said cut the show. I don't know what's going on. The stream going, y'all. We'll just go ahead and cut it, and now I'm here. We appreciate everyone coming out. Thank they came.